Welcome. Thank you for those of you who are joining us online. Today, the message that the Lord gave me is Psalms 40, verses 1 through 10. Psalms 41 through 10. And it says this: I waited patiently for the Lord. He inclined to me and heard my cry. He turned to me and heard my cry. He also brought me up out of the horrible pit, out of the miry clay, and set my feet upon a rock, and established my steps. Ain't God good? He brought me out of where I was, that was just as dirty and slimy and slippery, and I couldn't get my feet underneath me to have any stability in this life. It felt like every time I tried to put one foot in front of the other, it just was slippery. Like you're on the ice, right? Like you can't move forward. Every time you try and move forward, you start sliding a little bit back, right? That type of a situation. But he took me up out of it, and he placed my feet upon the rock. He is my firm foundation, the rock upon which I can stand. Amen.
Amen.
He put a new song into my mouth. Praise to our God. Many will see it and fear, and will trust in the Lord. Amen.
Amen.
Verse 4. Blessed is that man who makes the Lord his trust, and does not respect the proud, nor such as turn aside to lies. Blessed is the man who makes the Lord his trust, who doesn't look to the proud. Don't put your trust in the ones who think that they're in charge. Don't put your trust in the ones who you think have it all figured out. Don't put your trust in the ones who they have a lot of fancy words to say, but put your trust in the Lord. He has given us His Word. He has given us His Spirit. He has given us a way to understand His Word. Amen?
Amen.
So when you put your trust in the Lord, you'll never be put to shame. He puts a new song in my mouth. You know, it's not just the tired old stuff that everyone else used to sing. You know, it's not just the old-time religion. It's not just somebody else telling you what to believe. But it's the belief that you receive from your own personal walk with Him, your own faith, that puts a new song in your mouth, a new praise when you finally get it. When you finally put your trust in it, and you know that no one can take that from you, right? No one's going to shake that faith when you know that you know what you know. It's what you believe in your heart, how much you love Him, because He first loved me. I didn't feel like I was worth loving, but He said I'm worthy. He said, I love you this much. And He stretched His arms out and died on a tree for me. And I say, my God, you did that for me. You love this soul. He is worthy to be praised. So He put a new song in my mouth. Blessed is the man who makes the Lord his trust and does not respect the proud, nor such as to turn aside to lies. You see, a lot of people will be easily swayed by those who have some fancy words and some words that will tickle their itching ears, and whatever I want to hear, what I'd really like to hear, is that I'm okay doing whatever I want to do. And so then they turn aside to lies, false prophecies, and they gain contempt for the word. And they start choosing what they're going to rip out. And I'm just going to believe this part. I'll only pay attention to this part. I'm not paying attention to the rest. Because they could create some sort of division or discord where they believe this person was faulty, and since they put pen to paper, they can't believe them. But that new song comes from when I put my trust in Him. I'm not putting my trust in what they say. I'm putting my trust in Him guiding me through this and helping me to understand what it says, what He means, the spirit of the word, the spirit of the law. Verse 5, many, O Lord, my God, are your wonderful works which you have done, and your thoughts toward us cannot be recounted to you in order. If I would declare and speak of them, they are more than can be numbered. I can't even count all the ways that you've blessed me, Lord. I can't even tell you of all the things that you've done because they're more than I could possibly even pay attention to. Now, we have a lot of great stories, don't we? I brought Joseph up out of that pit and put him into a place where he was in charge of the whole kingdom. His brothers meant for him to die. They threw him in a pit. We have stories of the three Hebrew boys who were thrown into a fiery furnace. But there was a fourth man in the fire that king did not expect to see. And not a hair of their head was singed. None of their clothes were singed. They were protected. Now that's not something that you can chalk up to any other thing but a miracle. We have stories of Daniel in the lion's den, and God shut the mouth of those hungry lions. These weren't lions that had just been well fed and they just didn't care for that flesh that came into the den. No. They were hungry. And yet, my God closed their mouths. We have so many stories of all the things that God has done for others. What's your story? What is your story of what God has done for you personally? God has healed me. He has taken a tumor that was visible on a CT out of my body. God has done wonderful things, turning my life around from where I was going, and gave me peace. And that's something big. Maybe you don't understand the chaos a mind can have. Maybe you don't understand how much depression can change a person's demeanor. Maybe you don't understand how lost some of us can feel at times, but I know, because I've been there. And yet, God brought me out of it. He shifted every one of those situations and put a trust and a focus and gave me a new understanding and a new perspective to where I wasn't looking in the circumstance anymore, but I had an eagle's eye perspective, knowing that God's going to bring me through this. He's ordered my steps. Do you understand? He's established my goings. He has plans for me. And He tells me, this is the way of righteousness. Walk in it. This is the way towards me. Walk towards me. Here's how you go. Do it this way. He's done wonderful things. And even if He chose to never bless me with anything else, He went to the cross for me. And that's enough. That's enough for me to give Him praise till my last breath. Verse 6, sacrifice and offering you did not desire, but my ears you have pierced, my ears you have opened. But listen to this. Another translation says, but a body you have prepared for me. He prepared a body for me to take my place on that cross. He fashioned himself a body in which God with us, Emmanuel, in which the Word became flesh and dwelt among us and bore my sins for me on that tree. So sacrifice and offering you did not desire from me, but there was a body that you prepared for me. Burnt offering and sin offering you did not require. Then I said, behold, I come. In the scroll of the book it is written of me. I see what you've done for me. I understand that it was for me and that you wrote my story. You're the author and finisher of my faith. And therefore, I can walk towards you. I don't have to be ashamed of who you are, that you are God, and I'm just some sinful creature down here. No, you've taken all of that sin away so that I can boldly approach the throne of grace and find help in my time of need. You've changed my perspective, because I used to say, oh, I'm not worthy, but you say I am worthy. That you say I am a friend because of my faith. It can baffle a mind, but it can give you peace. It can make you scratch your head, but it's something to be glorified. It's something to be just giving all praise and worship over. Because he has done it for me. It's personal. Here I am. I have come. It is written about me in that scroll. The book of life has my name in it. You've given me a new name. One in which I can be proud of. Verse 8, I delight to do your will, O my God, and your law is written in my heart. It's not about what's on the pen and paper. Your law is in my heart because you've written it. You've circumcised this heart. You've taken away all the flesh that was just about my own desire. It was about my heart's desire. It was just about me, making me number one, right? But you've cut that away and you said, my desire of my heart is to put my trust in you, to dwell with you all the days of my life, to be with you forever in eternity, to serve you and to serve the people you have created, to bring them to you, Lord. So here I am. Here I come. You said this is the way, walk in it. You ordered my steps. Here I come. Amen. I desire to do your will, oh my God. Your law is written in my heart. Verse 9. I have proclaimed the good news of righteousness in the great assembly. Indeed, I do not restrain my lips. O Lord, you yourself know. I have hidden your righteousness in my heart. I have not hidden your righteousness in my heart. I have declared your faithfulness and your salvation. I have not concealed your loving kindness and your truth from the great assembly. You see, I get the love that he has for me, the righteousness that he says, you are righteous because of your faith. You are holy because I'm holy. I make you what you are. And therefore I clothe myself in that stuff. I say, okay, I'm washed in his blood. So therefore I'm going to act like it, right? I want to be what you want me to be. I want to do what you want me to do. I want to do your will, Lord. So here I am and here I come. And I'm not going to keep it to myself. If God is so great and so greatly to be praised, why would you hold it in? Tell somebody. So if there's a title for today's message, it's How Can I Not Tell of the Wonderful Things That He's Done? He is great and greatly to be praised. He deserves a new song. What is in your heart? What can you sing to him today? What can you say about him? You are wonderful, Lord. I love you, God. Thank you so much for all you've done and what you're yet to do. Because I know you're not going to leave me. You're not going to forsake me. I'm in the palm of your hand. No one can snatch me out. So I give you praise, Lord. And I'm not going to hold it in. I'm going to make sure people know he's done some great stuff. He brought me out of a miry pit, out of where it was slippery, out where I couldn't get one foot in front of another and I couldn't quite tell which way was up. And he set my feet on a firm foundation, believing in him and trusting in him, so that no matter what's coming my way, I trust in God, and he's going to see me through it. He's not going to let me go. He's not going to leave me behind. He's bringing me along because I'm saddled up to him. I'm yoked to him. His yoke is easy and his burden is light. You'll find rest for your soul if you trust him. If you allow him to take all of that heaviness off of your shoulders. If you'll allow him to walk you through it. If you'll allow him to give you his peace. He wants to. He's the Prince of Peace. He wants to give you peace, not the kind of peace that is just here temporarily, but a peace that says he's won the war already. I've seen the back of the book. I know how it ends. So why should I be afraid? What can man do to me? He's going to see me through. He's got a place he's preparing for me. Therefore, I trust in him. He's going to turn everything around for the good, for those who love him and serve him, who are called according to his purpose. So I don't have to question it. It might look bad right now, but I know it's going to be good. So I can have peace. The joy he gives me, the world ain't giving it, so the world can't take it away. The joy he gives me lets me have joy in the midst of the storm, when it all looks like it's falling apart. And I can say, the devil is really making a mess down here right now, but God has it all figured out. The devil really thinks he's throwing a tantrum, but I see it for what it is, like a little 2-year-old stomping his feet and throwing himself on the floor and just throwing a big fit, a big tantrum. He really looks silly right now, doesn't he, God? Because I know God's got it worked out. Trust in him. Put your trust in him. Not just, on Sunday. Sunday faith's not going to get you through the week. You need an every minute, every second faith. A faith that puts it totally in his hands. Where it's a constant communication. Not a, here you go, and walk away kind of faith. Sometimes we think, I put it in his hands. And I just tried to ignore it and put blinders on and stuck my head in the sand. No, it's a faith that says, here you go, God. I know you've got it. I'm going to walk with you hand in hand. And because I know no matter how bad it gets, you're not letting go of my hand. You're not going to let me slip back down into that slimy, slippery pit. You've put my feet on solid ground. You've established my goings. You've ordered my steps so I know where I'm going. I know I'm right there with you. I'm not going the wrong direction because I'm walking in the way of righteousness. I'm walking right behind you. I'm walking step in step with you. I'm in your hand. That's the trust. That's the new song that you can sing about. That's the kind of joy you can have, the kind of peace you can have. If you put your trust totally in him and quit paying attention to all the circumstance so much. If your focus is on him, if you keep your eyes on the author and finisher of your faith, you'll gain an eagle-eye perspective. It takes you up out of the circumstance. Let God walk with you. Let God order your steps and put your trust in Him. God bless you. God keep you. If you're in the Northwest Arkansas area, we invite you to worship the Lord with us in our home at 3 Reeves Lane in Bella Vista.